Welcome to episode number 25 of the ABCs from God, the truth about being a Christian. Today's show is entitled, It's Real, the Climate is Changing. In last week's show, we talked about how civil war can be prevented. To help support this channel, please hit the subscribe button and smack that bell to keep updated on our new content. If you're new to this channel, welcome and thank you for joining us today. For people that have seen my first 13 shows, you are on the in. That is, you and I are aware that the climate change warnings are the enemy's well-planned tactics of attack. Logic and common sense look at the world stats and see that China produces 28% of global carbon pollution, as compared to the US at 15% and India at 7% and growing. And many of the world's scientists say that the carbon levels are fine. Please see my media recommendations later on. Our trees and plants need carbon. The fear-mongering statement that the world will end in the next year or in 5 or 12 years is now passé. The world's atmosphere is healthy. Do we need to be caretakers of our environment? Bible quote. From the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So we, man, have all dominion, that is, authority, over all living creatures on the earth. And as the earth's caretakers, each one of us has been given a special talent and assignment from God. Bible quote. From the first book of Peter, chapter 4, verse 10. As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. If you are not sure what your gift is yet, then read about Jesus Christ in the Holy Bible and what He has done for you and me. The more you and I connect with His Word, the more God shares our gift with us. Learn to pray and talk with God. Be a patient apprentice and disciple. The in people also know this purposely spread pandemic is being used as a means to form a communist, religious world dictatorship. Of course, this is not their words. Some of their terms are the Great Reset, the Communist Manifesto, and the Caliphate, or Global Islam. In reality, these world conquerors are nothing but a group of demonic thugs, and most, if not all, of them are unelected. They imagine that they are the gods of the now and future, or are the believers of the true God. And they are now at work. That is, in the first 100 days of the Biden-Harris, and may I add, up north, Trudeau administration, the North American climate has been dire. Hundreds of years of freedoms are being stripped from us. With our current media channels, even the President of the United States of America and his supporters can be taken off major sites. Yet, we the people, that is not just of North America, but of the world, have our own channel and channels of media. The channel to God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. And whether these delusional, tyrannical money hogs murder their way to the top, they've really only dug their own graves, and they go deeper than 6 feet into the dark and burning parts of hell. Many of these same people whine about God creating hell, a place that is separate from God in contrast to heaven, a place with God, where sin is abolished. They do not see the irony of their evil, godless actions. You are either with our God or against Him. Bible quote. From the book of Psalm, chapter 10, verses 3 to 5. In his arrogance, the wicked man hunts down the weak, who are caught in the schemes he devises. He boasts about the cravings of his heart. He blesses the greedy and reviles the Lord. In his pride, the wicked man does not seek him. In all his thoughts there is no room for God. His ways are always prosperous. Your laws are rejected by him. He sneers at all his enemies. Okay, look people, the climate change in today's show title is the climate of ideology. That is, going from the Judeo-Christian values, beliefs, and laws to other godly rules. Please go and see my show number 7, The Rules of Man and the Rules of God. As well, show number 13, The Devil's Devices, excerpts from the first 12 shows of the ABCs from God. The sheep may not recognize it, but the shepherd would. That is, there is and has been a general reoccurring theme happening in the past 4,000 to 5,000 years. If you are a history buff, this will be relatively common knowledge to you. And if you look at alternative media sources, that is the mainstream news of the now and future, like Frank Speech, Newsmax TV, Rebel News, Rumble, BitChute, Gab, and DonaldJTrump.com, just to name a few, you may come to believe that the traditional Western world has been turned upside down, that is, it is under attack. Well, of course it is. And this is not the first time in his story that this has occurred. For example, when a society has the comfort and safety factors of a good Judeo-Christian judicial system, blended with a well-written constitution, a Christian-guided government, as well as having a well-trained police force led by these written rules, growth and creativity flourishes. Our God-given freedoms flourish. However, there is this thing called history, and when we study it daily, especially in the regular readings of the New Testament and Old Testament books of the Holy Bible, we discover that man has a condition similar to the climate change conditions. And that is the condition of man's sinful heart, comparable to the cold of an ice age, the heat of a desert landscape, and the bloodthirstiness of the evil men at war. Man's sinful heart links with the root of all evil in hell. Bible quote from the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 5. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Yes, it is real. The world's climate is changing. People are waking up to the evil in government, in big tech, in the judicial system, in the media, and a change is coming, but it ain't our weather. Step up, people. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, like, and share it with a friend. As well, please share the show with a political leader, a teacher, a judge, a media company, and a religious leader. Please join with me for next week's show entitled, How to Step Up to Keep Our Land Glorious and Free. For those of you who are currently without a church group, please feel free to go to my description and listen to a weekly sermon from the Richmond Alliance Church. We also recommend our brothers down south, John MacArthur at Grace to You, and Alistair Begg at Truth for Life. If you've just come to Jesus Christ or have been following him for a while, begin or keep up your daily habit of reading the Holy Bible. Be part of a Bible-based church and join with my friends and I in sharing God's truths, his ABCs, about being Christian. God bless.